Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is incredibly universal yet deeply, deeply personal to every single one of us. We're talking about disappointment. But I don't mean just the surface level stuff like your favorite coffee shop being out of your go-to drink. No, we're talking about those painful, life-altering moments that, right when they happen, feel like an absolute crushing failure. We have literally all been there, right? Standing in the rubble of something we really, really wanted, just wondering how on earth we are ever going to move forward. But what if we've been looking at these moments completely wrong this whole time?
Think about this for a second. Have you ever just stopped, looked back at your life, and realized that some of your most painful memories actually ended up serving a profound purpose? I mean, at the time, it sure didn't feel like a blessing, did it? It felt like pure rejection. It felt totally isolating, almost like life itself was actively moving against you. You probably questioned yourself, your future, and maybe even wondered if all your hard work was just for absolutely nothing. Because let's be honest, this is the stark reality of the human experience. Dreams fall apart. We all face these seasons that make absolutely zero sense in the beginning. You pour your heart and soul into a specific goal. Maybe it's that dream job you finally landed an interview for, or a creative project you gave up all your weekends for. And despite your absolute best efforts, it just shatters. It is devastating. And honestly, it's incredibly important to just pause and validate how much that hurts.
And plans? Yeah, plans collapse too. You map out this perfect roadmap for your life, and suddenly it gets thrown right out the window. Our immediate instinct when our plans collapse is to believe that we've lost something incredibly valuable. We start to panic. We assume that just because our one very specific plan didn't work out, we've completely ruined our chances at lasting success or happiness.
And sometimes people walk away. Maybe a relationship you were certain was going to last forever suddenly ends, leaving you feeling entirely unmoored and lost. But, here is where the story actually starts to shift. While we intensely question our worth and our efforts during these dark times, something entirely unexpected happens. Time passes. And as time passes, our perspective shifts completely. Suddenly, that very thing that broke your heart, it becomes the exact reason your life moved in a much, much better direction.
So let's move into Section 1, the illusion of permanence. Judging the present moment.
I want you to try thinking of your life like a giant, epic book. Life doesn't just hand you the entire story all at once. It reveals it chapter by chapter. Right now, you might be stuck right in the middle of Chapter 1, the setback. Or maybe you're trudging through Chapter 2, the delay. The fundamental issue we run into is that we can only see the page we are currently standing on. We literally cannot see Chapter 4, the realization, or how the ending ties it all together from where we are right now. We're essentially trying to write a review of a whole novel by only reading its saddest chapter.
And the conflict we constantly have to navigate is exactly this: what our emotions are screaming at us versus what reality actually holds. The truth is, we rarely have enough information to accurately judge our present moment. All we have are our emotions. And emotions? They're temporary. They make today's pain feel incredibly, overwhelmingly permanent. But the reality is vastly larger and far more complex than what our immediate feelings allow us to see.
So I want to challenge you with a pretty massive paradigm shift today. What if that thing you went through wasn't just a failure? What if it was actually invisible protection? So many people eventually realize that their greatest disappointments were really just cosmic shields. I mean, think about how many times you desperately wanted something in the past that today you barely even remember.
Let's take this thought experiment even deeper. What if certain opportunities you chased had actually succeeded, only to lead you straight toward years of quiet regret? What if that door closed specifically because whatever was behind it would have slowly chipped away at your peace, your purpose, or your future? Sometimes not getting what you want is actually the universe's way of saving you from a life you were never meant to live.
One of the absolute biggest mistakes we make is assuming that every single closed door is a sign to just give up, rather than seeing it as a necessary course correction. But sometimes, it's the exact opposite of a failure. It is life asking you, even begging you to stop forcing a direction that was never meant for you and was honestly never going to bring you true fulfillment anyway.
Which brings us right to Section 2. Rejection is actually redirection. The hidden blessings.
We are so wired to view rejection purely as a punishment. We instantly think, oh, I wasn't good enough, or I did something terribly wrong. But look at the contrast in your own life for a minute. Not every painful no is a punishment. Actually, far more often, losing one path is literally the only way to force you to discover a much better one. It's a redirection toward where you are actually supposed to be.
And while you're trying to navigate that new path, remember this: delay is preparation. Even when the immediate explanations are completely hidden from you, the waiting period is rarely just wasted time. Think about spending months stuck between jobs only to realize later that all that quiet, unstructured time gave you the exact clarity you needed to finally start your own business. The delay is secretly building the resilience, the wisdom, and the strength that you are absolutely going to need for tomorrow's opportunities.
Now, this doesn't mean every painful experience comes with a neat, tidy explanation right away. The realities of growth are often incredibly, frustratingly slow. Some lessons literally take years to fully wrap your head around. Some answers only arrive after you have become a completely different person. And you know what? That is perfectly okay. Growth almost always happens long before the actual understanding of that growth does.
All right, moving on to Section 3, the power of choice, shaping your future. Every single setback you face carries two very distinct possibilities, and it depends entirely on what you consciously choose to believe while you're living through it. It can become the story that permanently limits you, the convenient excuse you use to just stop trying. Or it can become the very moment that transforms you. The difference isn't about what happened to you. The difference is the narrative you choose to adopt going forward.
So the crucial takeaway here is this: your perspective shapes your future far more than your circumstances ever will. If you believe a closed door is the end of the road, you're going to simply stop walking. But if you believe a closed door is a guidepost pointing you to the left instead of the right, you'll discover a whole new horizon. Perception literally dictates your reality.
To build that kind of empowering perspective, you really have to embrace the hidden maybes. Maybe that lost opportunity was protecting you from a completely toxic work environment you just couldn't see yet. Maybe that relationship ending created the necessary empty space in your life for a partner who truly belongs there. Maybe today's failure is quietly building the exact emotional strength you're going to rely on tomorrow. You don't know yet, and honestly, you don't need to completely understand the chapter while you're still living it.
And that perfectly tees up Section 4. Keep turning the page, moving forward.
When things don't go according to your carefully laid out plans, please do not blindly rush into labeling it a failure. You might simply be standing at the very beginning of a beautiful, complex story that will only make sense when you finally get to look back at it. Life has always been infinitely bigger than your current moment. The ending hasn't been written just because one door slammed shut on you. The pen is still right there in your hand, and you have so many blank pages left to fill.
Consider this incredible thought for a moment. Sometimes, the greatest gift in life isn't getting everything you eagerly ask for. Sometimes, the absolute greatest gift is being guided safely away from what would have kept you from becoming the person you were always meant to be. When you really internalize that, it is a profound, life-altering shift from feeling rejected to feeling protected and guided.
So, I really want to leave you with this question today. Are you ready to see closed doors differently? Can you step back from the very real pain of the present moment and trust that this painful redirection is actually leading you towards something vastly more aligned with who you are truly becoming?
You just have to trust the process. Keep moving forward and keep turning that page, because I promise you, one day you are going to look back and realize that what felt like the absolute end was actually your beautiful beginning. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next one.